Iraq did not become a big democracy. It did not become this now liberated piece of land that had flourishing and prosperity and democracy. Not at all. It became kind of the backyard of Iran. And we, in a sense, did the work in the Iran-Iraq war. We did the work of Iranian troops by the West, in that case, the Americans got rid of the Iraqi barrier to Iran. And Iran basically took over Iraq, and it never became a very hospitable place. My question to you is, first thing, do you agree with that analysis? And second thing, here we have a moment where regime change is in the offing, but most of us, including myself, try very hard to understand what the breakdown of Iran is, but we don't have a good picture of it. We don't quite understand it. Is it going to break down on ethnic lines? Is there going to be something that holds it together? Are the mullahs going to stay in power? Are there a lot of people with them, a lot of people against them? So like using the second Gulf War as an example, where do you think this war with Iran is going?
Well, here I have a couple of bona fides. On the eve of the American invasion of Iraq, I was called in to testify in front of the Congress and the Foreign Relations Committee. And it wasn't easy because I was testifying with my former professor, Bernard Lewis, who was very much in favor of the invasion, and I was against it. And I was against it not because I wanted to preserve Saddam Hussein. I thought the American army should just go in there and kill him and blow up his palace and get out. I was convinced that the Americans, like the British and French before them, would tire of state making. They didn't have the stomach for it, and they withdrew. And I'm quoting myself here, that the Iranian border would move 800 miles westward toward us. And I hate being prophetic. There's only one thing worse than being a false prophet, you should know. It's being an accurate one. And it turned to be true. And so the question then arises, I think you're making a very compelling question in saying, okay, are we going to revisit the fiasco of Iraq and Iran? And certainly that's what many Americans are asking themselves today. And here is a little different, okay? What happened with Iraq was in many ways a terrible mistake and a tragedy. But the fact is, Iran does not threaten its neighbors in any big way today. Keep that in mind. And in Iran, the devil we don't know, in almost every scenario you can conceive of, is better than the devil we do know. It's rare, right? You got to admit that's pretty rare in foreign policy and human relations. The devil we don't know. Because the devil we know is a devil that is committed to our destruction, not just in word, but in deed, and assiduously trying to produce the means of doing that. So if Iran, descends into civil war, if there's a ethnic breakout along ethnic lines, if there is an alternative leadership, even if the leadership is rhetorically committed to jihad and domination of the Middle East and our destruction, it won't have the ability to do that. So I think there's a strong distinction between the Iraq war and this war.